Okay, review of the Fujifilm 110mm f2. This is, by the way, the equivalent of an 86mm in full frame at f1.58. So basically it's an 85mm f1.4. Sorry, I didn't bring the lens hood out. No in-body, no optical image stabilization, dual linear autofocus motor. So this is actually, I noticed this to be a hair faster in autofocusing, which you don't need fast autofocus for portraiture. And there's nothing about medium format that's fast. I mentioned before many times that I'll never talk about fast when it comes to the GFX, nor any medium format camera. Fast and medium format go together like oil and water, like fire and gasoline. They don't go together. I own every current GFX Fujifilm lens. I've actually got a lot of flack from people saying, how did he afford that really expensive camera? This ain't a Phase 1. This is a GFX. This camera costs exactly as much as a Nikon D5. All these people have been saying, he talks about how poor he is, and yet he has a GFX. Well, I sold 3 cameras and saved up for half a year to get the GFX. It's the exact same damn price as a Nikon D5. Those people need to shut up. They're idiots. Someone, it doesn't matter, if I made videos about cute fuzzy bunny rabbits, someone would bitch and complain. It's like, I like cute fuzzy bunny rabbits. This is my little fuzzy bunny Fluffy. They would complain. Anyway, back to the lens review. Currently owning every Fujifilm lens made and tested out the 23mm. However, not done detailed testing. I'm not interested in landscape lens. Obviously, you probably are for the GFX. I'm not really hot on landscape. There it is. Nor the 45mm that's coming out. I will test that as well. If I only own 2 lenses, it would be this one as first, the 110mm, and secondly the 32-64. 110mm f2. The bokeh on this is incredible. I'll post some test shots below. You can take a look at the bokeh. Bokeh, bokeh. Tomato, tomato. Potato, potato. I've actually been out traipsing for 5 whole days with this camera over the past week and a half or so. Last time was on Thursday, I believe. I was out all day long at the horse park just taking tons of shots with this. It's a beautiful, exquisite lens. I mean, what's to say about it? It's the same production quality as the rest of Fujifilm's GFX lenses. However, it does have faster autofocus, I can't speak about speed, than the 63mm or even the 120mm f4, which does have optical image stabilization. So, well, this lens does look a little bit heavy, and it is kind of heavy. It's actually not that heavy. I mean, it's about, what, a third as much as the 120mm f4, which is a spanking heavy lens, and that's an f4. That, however, is medium format f4. That's 120mm f4 OIS Fujifilm GFX lens, by the way, renders basically like a f2, f2.8. This, as I already told you, the f2 on this 110mm is basically an 85mm, basically at f1.4. This has perfectly circular, creamy, fluffy bokeh. This is a beautiful headshot / portraiture lens. It's perfect for a lot of different stuff. I love taking pictures of this lens. I'm so glad I own it. Oh my god, it's not cheap. This lens is not cheap at all. Of the 4 Fujifilm GFX lenses, which are the only 4 that are out there except for the 23mm, the only reason I actually placed this behind the 32-64 is because the 32-64 is universally useful. If I only have one lens to slap on this camera and go out and hit it, it would be the 32-64. However, you just don't go out and ramble around with a medium format camera. You go out with a purpose knowing what the hell it is you're going to shoot. But the 32-64 is wonderful. But it is a big honking heavy ass lens. But this is Fujifilm's fastest lens, and it is, by all indications, not only this year, but next year, the fastest damn Fujifilm GFX lens they're going to make. If you're going to get one lens for your GFX, well, not one, but 2 lenses, it'll be 32-64 and the 110mm f2. I don't know what else to say about it other than post some picture links below with the 110mm here. It's not cheap. It's worth every penny. The bokeh and how this lens renders is actually better than I thought. I was kind of worried. Not really worried, but I was kind of wondering. It's like, you know, can this lens really spank an 85-1.4 Nikkor or an 85-1.4? And I'm going to do a test, by the way, between this and a Zeiss 85-1.4, Zeiss planar on the Nikon D810. This lens renders better. See, I have tons and tons and tons of 85mm lenses, and I was like, this is an 85mm equivalent. Surely it can't render as good or nearly as good as the other 85mm lenses from Nikon and Zeiss, but it does. And if you don't believe me, you just have to wait for the test. I'll upload some test shots here in the next couple days. I have a sore throat today, so I'm kind of taking it easy. It's hurting me to talk. I have a sore throat because I've been out shooting all last week, out in the super hot sun. I think the 300mm 2.8, which is a heavy ass lens, might have broke my back, and like broke my throat, broke my voice. So I have a sore throat. So that's it. That is my conclusions. I call it a conclusion. What do you call it? A review. It's called a conclusion. Synopsis. Summary of the 110mm f2 Fujifilm lens. By the way, I do have a filter on this. It is a B&W filter. It's only 40 bucks. This is, well, it's actually only one grade of filter. It's better than this. 40 bucks versus like $400. I'm not spending $400 on a prophylactic filter. But anyway, notice no difference in the image rendering. Exquisite lens. So very glad I do own it. This is what medium format is for. Well, about 60-70% medium format portraiture. So this is definitely one lens from the GFX to get. Thank you so much for watching. Like this video, drop a buck or two. Tell me to jump off a cliff, whatever makes you happy. Whatever tickles your pickle. Thanks for watching. Catch you later, girlfriend. Rock out with your out. I didn't say the word. Bye. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum.